Welcome to Trickle Up. I'm Boyce with the Mindful Skeptics. We got Russell with Grassroots and Mea. We're all together today to cover. We're going to talk about the ramifications of the protest today, where we had people storm the castle and scare the shit out of those people in the Senate.
They were getting rowdy up there.
What do you guys want to say about that, so we can kind of get
it let the people in Washington, D.C. know, wherever you fall on the coin, that you are vulnerable. And you should probably listen to what the people are saying. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, it's MAGA this time, right? It's MAGA this time. But what happens when it needs to be like that when Black Lives Matter is protested? People need to be heard. And that's one of the things that we hold and cherish and love in this country is our freedom to protest.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So let me think. Mea, what you got on this? I'm trying to think because you watched some of it when I did. I
don't agree with them storming the Capitol. Because you endanger a lot of people when you do that.
Well, yeah. That's definitely an interesting take that I hadn't considered before. Mm-hmm. The thought that it does bring danger to their doorstep for the first time in a very long time.
They're on notice.
They feel like they're damn untouchable up there.
And the Republicans weren't spared that kind of treatment because in their eyes, the ones voting for Trump or against Trump in this, not betraying the Electoral College, are also enemies. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of everybody against them.
Yeah. It's a good point, though. Like, you're on notice, motherfuckers. We see you and we can reach you.
Yeah, that's the thing that I hope that is the lesson I would hope they take from this. Not any lessons about caving into their demands, but the realization that the people are pushed.
Yeah, and you are not untouchable. Because if the people get pissed off enough in enough numbers, they're gonna march on your ass.
Oh yeah. And circle the castle like they did. Like literally, imagine if when during let's say Obama and Trump, Obama had an inauguration of I think it's 100,000 people or some shit, you know, it's like crazy numbers. And Trump had 50,000 roughly. Let's say 50,000 people show up. That's a lot of fucking people to surround the Capitol with. That's enough to surround the Capitol and the fucking White House. And then what? Either you're gonna have to stomp on the people, massacre them, or make some type of concession. Like, guys, what we gotta do here? The yellow vest. Yeah.
Well, you gotta think, right? Okay, this whole pandemic that they've given the people one $600 check, right? And people are struggling and people are mad that they can't pay their bills and that they're about to be evicted. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this isn't for anything that they've done. You know, they were already struggling to make ends meet. And then the only relief that you've given them is $600. Right. Well, guess what? That means people are getting pissed off that they can't pay the rent. So if anything was taught to those people in Washington today, is that they might better listen to the will of the people. And if the people are struggling to eat, then maybe Nancy Pelosi, you might better feed the people who you say that you represent. Now is your opportunity, Congress, because you have no excuse. You won all the seats in Georgia that you needed to win. Mitch is on his way out the door. So you have better do what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
And listen to the will of the people.
Well, and with Medicare for all and universal basic income, or not universal basic income, it's more like reoccurring cash payments for the stimulus is what's over 80% approval in Democrats and over 70% approval in Republicans. So it averaged 75%. Let's just say 70% across the board for reoccurring cash payments and Medicare access for everyone. Not necessarily Bernie's version of it, but healthcare is an issue. So if they were smart, if you don't want people knocking on your doorstep again, you don't want them spray painting your garage and showing up at your residency and doxing you and putting you in literal physical danger, You were elected by the people. And so the people in your district feel the same way the rest of us do. These are the two things we agree upon on both sides of the aisle. Healthcare needs to be addressed during a pandemic, and reoccurring cash payments is how we survive. So I think that's huge.
I'd like to point out that people in general are going to be a lot more panicked and prone to being sucked into conspiracy theories and such when they don't see a lot of hope in their own lives. So you're breeding extremism by not providing for the people as well, especially in moments like these. There are so many people who are scared of what's going to happen to them tomorrow. There are so many people who have lost everything that they had in the past few weeks and months and don't know what they're going to do with their lives from this point on. Give people something that they can hold on to, something they can build a new start with, something that gives them some stability in a time when everything's been thrown into chaos between our government and our economic system. And you will see a lot of this violence and a lot of the craziness die down very quickly. I'm very sure of that.
You know what else is extreme? Poverty. That's how you get extremism. There's nothing more extreme than not knowing about tomorrow, not knowing about next week. Hey, what you going to be doing next year? Hell, I don't know. Trying to make some money so I can get my food and keep my house. If that's it, it's easy to be converted to another form of extremism to escape your own extreme poverty. So
if you need somebody to act and the only people who are willing to act are the crazies, then you're going to go to the crazies, right? I mean, no, your house is on the line. You need somebody willing to step up and do something about it at that point. And if the only person willing to stand behind you is somebody who's kind of local, you're going to make excuses why, well, I'm going to use that resource anyways.
And unfortunately, it's so great that you say that, because unfortunately, that's the same thing that won Donald Trump the election to start with. People were angry. People were pissed off. People knew that the media has been, on both sides, has just been feeding us this line of horse crap this whole time. So it led to his election. All those problems that he was pointing out. But what we didn't understand at the time was that it wasn't immigrants that were stealing our jobs. It's automation. And it's only gotten worse. But if you notice throughout this pandemic, the greatest transfer of wealth has occurred. Jeff Bezos has only gotten richer, and the poor people have only gotten poorer.
I saw a statistic that said he gained all the money he gains. Like Bernie brought this up in Congress. Or in Senate, he said, if you took all the wealth that he acquired since the pandemic, you could give every man, woman, and child $2,700 a person. That's
and he does have my wish list, so if he wants to go ahead and do that, that would be great.
And the link's below, yeah. No.
Because the broke folk vote needs it.
Yeah, but think about that. Bezos, doing nothing differently, has increased his wealth enough that he could break it down and lose $0 and give us all thousands of dollars a piece. And he gets to keep all of that shit while we lose jobs, houses, health, life.
How obscene is that?
It's obscene. You damn right it is.
And his wife, thank goodness, is very much a philanthropist and has given away hundreds of millions of dollars to people in need.
And what's her name? Let's give her a shout out. Something Bezos, right?
Mama Bezos.
Exactly. Mama Bezos, the Trickle Up needs some help. All right. Just gonna say that. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about this in the comments section. What's it gonna take? Here we are to demand action. And Congress is on notice, the Senate's on notice, and the next president, Joe Biden, is on notice. You have no
Democrats. Y'all don't have any excuse.
That's right. You're on notice. You got to do what you say. You got to back it up. So we got it all on record. What you said you was going to do, what you used to get elected, is now going to be used to at your own dismay to say, this is what you said, what you going to do about it. So we got to hold them accountable. That's what it comes down to.
People have been known to storm the Capitol.
This thing. Yeah, man,
it's getting to the point where I think that we're probably going to get some Capitol storming happening from the left if things don't change a bit.
But also, guys, in the description box, you're going to have our links to all the channels, to the Yang Gang Roundtable podcast, to the Grassroots Yang Gang, to the Mindful Skeptics. It's all going to be down there to our links. You can follow us on Twitter and go subscribe to our channels. Go check us out. We got lots more to say there. And thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Yang Gang.